to keep our young people active and busy so that they won't be involved in some unsocial behaviors. We also just opened the doors on the Centers for Diversion and Services, and this is a way for us to really help those that are having behavioral health challenges in the city of Atlanta in more compassionate ways about a person-centered alternatives to policing methods. And that's something that's really helping us address the root causes of some of these challenges. The Diversion Center ensures that individuals dealing with these issues receive appropriate care in a space where they feel safe and supported and connected to a network of resources that are counseling and rehabilitation services. The center is also able to provide invaluable 24/7 resources for our city's first responders, providing a critical tool to help guide their responses when they encounter residents experiencing any of these issues, from mental health challenges to drug addiction to other things. And once we wrap this press conference, outside you'll be able to see a number of our vehicles in our city's fleet, which includes our care unit. And we have some of these care officers that are here today. Earlier this year, we launched this unit designed to handle non-violent emergencies, freeing up our sworn police officers to focus on tackling violent crime, removing illegal firearms from our streets, and addressing serious incidents. So the care unit can deal with all these day-to-day issues while our police officers continue to fight violent crime. Already, since its launch this summer, the care unit has responded to, get this, 2,049 calls for service, which 1,416 reports have been written. All calls and reports that otherwise would have been assigned to a sworn armed police officer who would instead now have time to focus on taking down gangs, drugs, and illegal guns off of our streets. And so we have made a lot of progress in just 1 year with this care unit, and we still have work to do. And so, guys, I'm very thankful for our partnership across the board. I thank to all of the leaders that are behind me, all of these dedicated public servants. And this also includes preparing our communities for winter. Now to share what the city of Atlanta is doing to keep our streets, roads, and sidewalks safe, and to inform travelers of how you can stay safe, I'd like to bring up ATL-DOT Commissioner Solomon Cavaness to give you more details. Commissioner Cavaness?
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to say thank you for moving Atlanta forward, Mayor. I am Solomon Cavaness, Commissioner of Atlanta Department of Transportation. Atlanta Department of Transportation is doing revolutionary work in the world of multimodal safety. We're working with whole of government to deliver on projects that support and enhance traffic safety, traffic mobility, and urban design. Tremendous progress through our Vision Zero commitment to eliminate traffic deaths and serious injuries by the year 2040 in our city. I'm proud to share that traffic deaths within the city of Atlanta have decreased by nearly 50% since 2021. Deserves a round of applause. We're saving lives. Reduced from 101 down to 53 in only 4 years. Moving in the right direction, but our team is laser focused on achieving the city's goal of Vision Zero as soon as possible. ATL-DOT employs a variety of tactics in our fight to eliminate traffic deaths, and that includes better street lighting as part of our Light Up the Night program with Georgia Power. We have a public-private partnership with Georgia Power, some of which Buckhead and this community has enjoyed. Just over my shoulder, the Waldorf, we've lit up Peachtree Road to make it more safe and accessible for our residents. We've also done almost 35,000 streetlights, converted or changed and included new streetlights in the city. Safety, education, and infrastructure in and around public schools is a priority for us with our Safe Routes to Schools program. Tactical walk lanes installed at some of our middle schools, and our National Walk and Ride to School Day at Finch Elementary School is something that we share great pride with. Leading pedestrian intervals at our signalized intersections to give pedestrians more time to cross the streets around the city, you'll find that. And we've also ramped up our efforts to improve roadway conditions with safer, smoother pavements. Additionally, I just want to speak to our investment in potholes. Some call me the pothole commissioner. but I will say, Pothole Posse is paying dividends. We have ATL Department of Transportation here, and I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you do to make rideability across the city better. We complete almost 40 pothole repairs a day. And since the mayor has been in office, since his inauguration, we've done over 20,000 potholes. We'll do about 8,000 potholes between now and the end of the year. Finally, in the interest of keeping our roadways safe during the holidays, I just want to offer one final tip. Don't drive impaired. APD will agree with me there. We want to make sure that beverages during the holiday seasons are partaken in a responsible way. Please use transit, ride share, or designated sober driver. So as we approach the winter season, our crews are preparing for the cold and precipitation. We just want to make sure that as we have these events, that folks stay off the road and let our crews do what they do. So thank you, Mayor, thank you, AFRD, thank you, APD, and thank you to the residents of Atlanta. We just want to continue the work that we're doing as the Atlanta Department of Transportation to support you and have a very safe holiday. Now I'll pass it on to Chief Sheriff Vaughn with APD.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's always good when the DOT Commissioner gives law enforcement tips, so I appreciate that, sir. Force multiplier. Robin, thank you again for making Lenox Square the city square and inviting us out today. And it's always good to see members of our media here, whether you're a print media, whether we have listeners or viewers. We thank you for always doing the important role of bringing these important messages to you. I want to acknowledge our mayor. He was quoting some crime reduction tips that are meaningful, that we're seeing crime reduction. You know, this is the fourth year in a row we've seen crime reduced right here in Buckhead, but we're seeing crime reduction across all 245 of our neighborhoods. And I want to thank the mayor for making public safety a cornerstone of his administration, that it's not just the police department, but we all have a role. Be it the fire department, Department of Transportation, nightlife, everyone has a role making our city safe. So thank you, Mayor, for making sure that this is the best city in the world to live in. And I always want to acknowledge our partners right here in Buckhead, the Buckhead Coalition, the Buckhead Rotary, and the community as well. But it's the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department. I want to thank you for all the incredible work you have been doing throughout this year. And Mayor, we see the support you've given them through pay raises, pension reform, a new training center, and the take-home car program. That matters. And so when these officers go out and work for these communities, it's nice to know that they're supported. This is a great time in Atlanta. We have the Pink Pig here at Lenox Square. We still do it, right, Robin? No longer. We do not take this. We take that out. It's not been stolen either. Apparently, we just don't have it back. But throughout the city, whether you're at the Fox Theater, whether you're at the Botanical Gardens or the Woodruff Arts Center, or any of our faith communities throughout the city, this is a fun time to be in Atlanta because it's the holiday season. And how are we keeping that safe as a police department? All of our units are out working. You saw our mounted patrol outside. You saw our motorcycle patrols. It doesn't matter what your assignment is in the Atlanta Police Department. In the month of December, we are all out on the streets. We are in all of those locations patrolling and making it safe. All of our investigators are in uniforms. We're using all of our cameras and LPRs to make sure we're present in each of our neighborhoods. Our 911 center is properly staffed. We also are working with our partners at the federal and state and local level for Operation Deep Freeze to make sure we're out going after gang members, gun runners, and drug dealers in our city. It is a full court press by your police department, making sure we are present with you in all of these locations. And while we're out working, we have a few tips for you as well. If you're going to have any packages delivered, please make sure they're delivered when you're at home or when there is a time you can have it delivered at a safe location. Have a working camera on your porch and make sure that is registered with our Connect Atlanta. Make sure you have a well-lit area and that also that you have a very obvious crime security system for your home. Do not leave your cars running. This is our first cold week of the year, of the season. Please don't leave those cars running. Lock them up. Use a theft detection device around your home, making sure that you have a clean car campaign in place so you yourself are out shopping with no concern. This is the group project that the mayor always speaks about, keeping Atlanta safe. And one of our key partners in that area is our fire department. I'm proud to bring to the podium now our fire chief, Rod Smith.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here today on behalf of the men and women of Atlanta Fire Rescue, and I just want to say thank you to them and thank you to our mayor for always putting public safety first in our city of Atlanta. As you know, as the weather breaks, it becomes our busy season of the year. And so just know the men and women of Atlanta Fire Rescue are answering the calls as needed. I'd like to leave you with a couple of tips to hopefully make your holiday season more enjoyable and more safer. It's because we really don't want to have to come to your home, but just know that if we do, we will definitely be coming. If you are outdoors, please make sure that you dress appropriately for the weather. For those of you who like live Christmas trees, make sure you keep those hydrated, and make sure you check those lights before you put them on those, and make sure that the cords are not frayed and they don't become electrical hazards. Some of you love candles. Make sure that the candles that you use are at least 1 foot away from anything combustible. We recommend that you use the LED candles and make sure that they are always attended. And for those who love to get in the kitchen and cook and fry the turkeys, let's make sure that we do those efforts in an attended manner and don't go too far away or stray from that space. If you utilize your fireplace, please make sure that you have that fireplace checked by a licensed authority to make sure that it is safe and will not cause any fires, because we want to make sure that anything that we burn, we keep it in our visible space and make sure that we are overseeing what is going on. The space heaters that are constantly being used and that frequently cause fires, just reminding you to make sure that they are at least 3 feet away from anything that is combustible. And please check your smoke detectors. Check your smoke detectors and make sure that they are working properly, because they help us to help you. And last, and certainly not least, make sure you have a formidable emergency evacuation plan for your family, and make sure they are aware of what that plan is, so that in the event that you do have to leave the home, you can make sure that everyone gets out safe. And we'd like to wish each of you the happiest holiday seasons ever. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for all those remarks and those helpful tips and updates on what we're going to be doing to keep Atlanta safe. And as Chief Smith just mentioned, those things are for single-family homes as well as apartments. We don't want apartment fires or home fires. We want you all to be safe. So this also goes to you individuals that are living in apartments, condos, townhomes. Please take the precautions around keeping your area, your trees, and as well as your candles, as well as your space heaters away from combustible items, because you can really impact a number of families if you are not careful. And if we don't talk to you before New Year's Eve, manage your fireworks. That has given us trouble in recent years, so please take the necessary precautions to make sure that is safe, taken safe too. Right, Chief?
That's right.
Both chiefs say yes. You got that too. All right, I will take questions at this time.
So, Mayor, what is really the biggest difference from what we've seen? Because we always have this news conference every year. What's really the big difference this year when it comes to safety?
Yeah, we like to do this news conference every year to make sure we give out these helpful tips, because people might forget, or they might need a reminder, or we may have new people to our city, but we want to make sure that everybody is keeping it fresh, top of mind about your shopping experiences around the holiday season, but also around how to take care of your home during this time. But what's also different is we have new tools that support our safety. Today, you're standing, you see the care unit that is here to help us with road safety and the variety of things that may occur on the streets of Atlanta. We also have some quick response units from our fire rescue department. We also have more police officers, and we have, I hope and I think that they have higher morale because of all the pay raises and take-home cars and pension and everything else. So everybody is more of us. Is one of the things that I would say about this year versus previous years. So it's more of us, and we have more tools, and we have more data, and we have more technology. So the camera networks and all of those things. And last but not least, we have other things outside of these men and women that you see behind me. We also have, all of the violence reduction efforts. We have all of the things that we're doing in the non-policing spaces, stuff around youth and the safe spaces that we have. So what's different is we're just more robust and even more muscular in our approach to fighting violent crime, and the results we're seeing in these numbers that we've seen go down.
And when it comes to crime and things like that, what changes over the holiday season compared to what we see throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'll let Chief get into the specifics of that. Chief is asking, what do we see around the holiday season that, changes different between now and non-holiday season time. So actually, I'll just turn it over to Chief Lynn to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What we tend to see is an uptick in crimes related to property, thefts from vehicles, thefts from porches, which we mentioned earlier. We also see break-ins of cars and potential robberies around shopping centers. So that's why the police department is going to be in those areas as well. And those tips that we went over, the tips you can find on our websites, that's a big help in making sure it doesn't happen. And then also, even though the large part of your police department is going to be out working, what you see matters. So if you see something, say something by calling 911. You can report it through a text to 911. You can report it through an email to 911 or on our online portal.
For the commissioner?
So the question was, what are we doing to prepare for the low temperatures in the roadways? So we are working with the National Weather Service to predict any issues. Generally, around 72 hours prior to an event, we have conversations and we get on conference calls internally and with our external partners to include Georgia Department of Transportation. And we make sure that our brine trucks for solution get on the road as early as possible to get those temperatures up on the roadway pavement surfaces so that we don't have the icing and slick surfaces. We also get out and inform the motorists to slow down, to make sure that we have a safe passageway. And we also just make sure that the roads are clear. Any maintenance we can do, any work we can do with all of our collective services and whole of government, we are prepared.
Any more questions?
Yes,
I'm curious about the other services the city might be offering for citizens as we take them to job, what resources you provide to make sure people are safe in the cold weather.
Yeah, so we have opened up our warming centers, our warming shelters. We have 2 of them open. They will actually open part of this past weekend. And we have a policy around when it drops below freezing, or if it has any precipitation below, I think 35 or 37 degrees. Don't quote me on that, but there's a chart that we go by which says if it's going to be cold at night over this many hours, and if it's raining, etc., we open up our warming shelters, and that is a low barrier shelter. Men, women, children. We have spaces for men. We have spaces for women and children. They get meals. They get a safe place. They get a comfortable bed. They also get some counseling and some support. Those things are open. That is in conjunction with our nonprofit partners, of course, the Gateway Center, the Atlanta Mission and the Salvation Army and others. We are working in a concerted effort with Partners for Home. So we continue to provide provisions for our unsheltered in that regard when it gets too cold. Any other?
Mayor, the care unit. Who are the members of the care unit and what jurisdiction? They're like off-duty officers, firefighters?
Well, I'm glad you asked about care unit. I love this unit. I love everybody. Like y'all are. And you get to talk about love, and folks start being like, you don't love me. When I say I love something, I love all the APD, but I love the care unit because they're new. This is something that Chief Shearbaum and I came up with just recently about how we can respond to incidents of maybe it might be a collision. A car crash, or maybe someone that's missing an item that they left on the road or on the sidewalk or something like that. We don't want our sworn police officers having to spend 45 minutes dealing with writing an insurance claim for an individual that have ran into a mailbox. That 45 minutes can be spent with that individual officer patrolling their beat, looking for violent criminals or making sure that small businesses are safe versus standing on the side of the road for 45 minutes. This is where the care unit is coming in so much handy. These individuals are folks that are just right there on the scene, being able to help you with your insurance claim, being able to help with helping you find your way in a traffic navigation situation. And these are individuals that have responded to almost over 2,000 incidents in just 6 months. They're in the green that you can see, in the neon green here. And Chief Shearbaum, you want to add to that about who they are, what they do, how many there are, and how many we're going to have soon?
Yes, Mr. These are full-time members of the police department. They are fully trained through our They are fully trained through our police training academy in a number of areas. You can expect to see them on car accidents. Certainly, the other day when we had a suspicious device on the expressway, one of the first units there to stop the travelers going past it was the CARES unit. So these are valuable members of the police department. They're just like our civilian crime scene techs, just like our civilian 911 operators. And so they're part of the team. We're still hiring. The mayor, we will have our full 12 that is part of the pilot. In next year's budget, we'll be adding more. So if you want a way to serve Atlanta, Georgia, right here, consider our CARES unit. And I'm so proud of these men and women and the work they've been doing.
All right, well, that's it, everybody. Continue to check in with us on ways to continue to stay safe. Thank you, Lenox Square. Once and again, you continue to be this great place for Atlantans and visitors to congregate. This is the square of the city. So thank you. Thank you for allowing us to host this event. And Atlanta, continue to stay safe. Continue to check in with APD, AFRD, ATL, DOT on ways that you can contribute to making sure that this city is safe. Last but not least, just like Lenox Square is connected to connectatlanta.org, your small business, your community centers, your various shopping malls and shopping centers across the city should also get connected to our camera program so that we can help you fight violent crime and fight property theft so that you can keep safe. All right, thank you all. We got a photo op outside in front of all of the vehicles, right? So you all can see what we have in store. So come on outside, everybody. Thank you.